Aloha and welcome to Vinyasa Flow Yoga. My name is Katie and I'm here with Bradley today. And we're going to move through a flow that incorporates some stretching of the quadriceps as well as opening the shoulders and working through some standing balancing as well. So all you'll need today is your mat. So go ahead and get that out and roll it out and get comfortable in your space. And we'll get started in an easy seated position, just like I am here. So when you do come into your easy seated position, you can have just simple crossed legs, half lotus, or even full lotus. If none of those are really applicable for you, go ahead and grab a pillow, sit as comfortable as you like. You can even sit on your heels. All right, let's get started. Palms face down on your thighs, close your eyes. And let's take this time to settle in here and bring our focus and attention on this present moment here on the mat. Just begin to align yourself in your easy seat by pressing your hips in towards the earth or your heels or pillow. Feel your lower belly pull up and in as you lengthen your spine, reaching up through the crown of your head. And just feel that nice length as you grow tall through the spine and open your heart forward. Let there be a softness through the face. So if you feel any tension through the face or jaw at all, let your jaw unhinge for a moment. So open through the mouth and stretch through the cheeks and the jaw and just kind of loosen up through the face. And once you've settled in and aligned your spine, keep those eyes closed and let's begin to control our breathing. So controlling those inhales in through your nose, let your breath travel all the way down to the base of your belly. Let your first exhale out through your nose, smooth as it came in, so you have some really deep and smooth, rhythmic breath coming in and out through the nose, cultivating that ujjayi breathing in through the nose, gentle constriction through the back of the throat all the way down to the base of the belly. Your exhale smoothly releasing out through the nose. Let your belly retract back towards your spine. A few more breaths here just to set that rhythm of breathing in and out through the nose with that oceanic sound in the back of the throat, soothing and clearing away any excess chit-chat that might still be going on in the brain. One more big breath in through the nose and out through the nose. All right, so we're going to move into our balancing breath just for a few rounds of breath here, our Nadi Shodhana, alternate nostril breathing. So just take your pointer finger between your eyebrows, just let it rest, and take your middle finger to your left nostril. Inhale in through your right nostril, plug your right nostril, and exhale out the left. Inhale in through the left nostril. Close and exhale out through the right. Inhale in through the right. Exhale out the left. Inhale in through the left. And exhale out through the right. Inhale right. Exhale left. Inhale left. Exhale right. Inhale right. Exhale left. Inhale left. Exhale right. Last round, inhale right. And exhale left. Release your hand back down onto your thigh, palm face down. Take a breath in through the nose, equally in. And equal exhale out through the nose. Now let's take our palms face down on our kneecaps, arms out long. So if you're not in a cross-legged or seated position, come into one now. You can also feel free to switch the direction of your legs if you need at this moment. So take your hands on your knees, lengthen your arms, begin to curl your spine in as you tuck your chin, coming into a cat pose but seated. Now as you inhale, pull on those knees, press your heart forward, roll your shoulders back, keep those arms straight as you look up towards the sky in a cow pose, but seated. Exhale, let's curl back up and in, tuck your chin, tuck in and look down, and then inhale, shoulders back, begin to look up towards the sky, open your chest. Move through that about 2 to 3 more times, undulating the spine, tuck in as you exhale. And as you inhale, open your chest all the way back up towards the sky. 2 more, curl and exhale. Inhale, roll those shoulders back, look up. Last one, let's exhale, curl and really emphasize that spread through the shoulder blades. And then let's inhale, back up, look up, roll those shoulders back. And release. Nice job. Let's take our hands behind us, uncross your feet, and we'll come into a tabletop position. So take your shoulders right over your wrists, hips over your knees. And let's just circle the spine out. So press your hips back towards your heels. Circle clockwise to begin. Around through into those wrists. Hips back towards your heels. Let your head and neck relax here. You can even circle it out with your spine. And take one ear towards one shoulder. Opposite ear, opposite shoulder. Switch directions as you're ready. So let's go counterclockwise. Press those hips back towards your heels. Circle around. Work into the joints, the wrists, the knees, hips. Circle it around about 2 more times. Warming up through the spine, hips, knees, wrists, shoulders, head, and neck. Nice. And let's make our way back to a neutral spine, traditional tabletop. Shoulders right over the wrists, spread your fingers wide, keep those knees right under your hips, hips with distance. Take an inhale in, just feel neutrality through your spine as your shoulders peel back, reach through the crown of your head, hips press back evenly. Go ahead, now let's inhale, extend our left arm forward. So reach that left arm out in front of you. Roll your left shoulder back. Inhale, extend your right leg straight back behind you. Flex your right foot. Keep your hips square down towards the mat. Press firmly in towards your right hand. Take a deep breath in here. Feel your core pull in. Now as you exhale, let's take elbow to knee. Curl in, forehead draws in towards that right knee. Good. Inhale, extend out, reach, create length. And then as you exhale, let's curl in, elbow to knee. Inhale, extend, reach, create length. And exhale, curl in, elbow to knee. Pull it in close. Pause here. Just one big breath in. And a breath out, stay. Now inhale, just extend out long. Bend your right knee. You can stay right here or begin to reach your left hand back to find the outside of that right ankle. So once you grab a hold of that right ankle, if you do, roll your left shoulder back, ground down and gently begin to kick into that left hand, creating a half bow. Lift through your heart, shoulders back, gaze just slightly out in front of you. Feel a nice length through that left shoulder and through the front of that right quadricep. One more breath in. And exhale, let's just release everything down to the earth. Take a moment here just to pause and reassess through those hands. Maybe roll out that right wrist. We were just on it for a few breaths there. Good, so let's switch sides. Starting with that right arm, inhale, extend your right arm out in front of you. Roll that right shoulder down and away from the ear. Reach through the fingertips, pull your lower belly in. If this is all right, let's extend that left leg back behind us. Reach your left leg back, flex that left foot. So the left toes point straight down to the earth. Big breath in, create length. And then as you exhale, begin to curl in, elbow to knee. Hug it up and in, tuck your chin. Good, inhale, reach and extend, create length. And exhale, curl in, elbow to knee. Inhale, extend, reach. Exhale, curl up and in. Let's just pause for a full breath here. So feel your core, pull that left knee up and in, tuck your chin in. Exhale it out, and on your next inhale, let's extend everything out, reach, create length, and then begin to bend your left leg. Reach back with your right arm. Maybe you catch the outside of that left ankle. It's okay if you don't, just keep the knee bent and reach back so you can just feel that opening. If you do catch onto that ankle, roll your right shoulder back and begin to kick into your right hand as you open your heart forward. You should feel a nice length through the front side of your left quadricep. Gaze just slightly out in front of you. Take one more big breath in. Good, and then exhale. Let's just release everything down to the earth. Ground through your hands, and again, just sway the hips side to side. Let this pose go. Big breath in through the nose. Now as you exhale, curl those arms forward. Puppy dog pose. Let your heart melt down as you gaze out in front of you. This is a really big shoulder and heart opener. You want your hips directly over your knees, so your hips are lifted. Gaze forward, big breath. Let's stay here for another exhale. Good, now on your next inhale, let's shift forward onto the forearms, slide your knees back. Come into a Sphinx pose. So those elbows are just slightly in front of the shoulders as you lift and broaden through the collarbones, lift through the chest. Exhale, begin to lower your heart down, tent your hands to the outside of your mat, elbows high and outside. Inhale, roll one shoulder back at a time into your free flowing cobra. Side to side. Open it out, let it feel good in the shoulders. You can come up as high or stay as low as you need today. And turn your head side to side. Let's work into the sides of the neck, into the traps, and just freeing that thoracic spine. Good. Let's come back through center. Hands right under the shoulders, a little bit behind. Roll those shoulders back, elbows point back. Spread those fingers wide and just lift into a baby cobra. Inhale, lift your heart just slightly. Engage through the spine. Now as you exhale, tuck your toes. Press your hips all the way back towards your heels. Feel that length through the low back as you reach your arms forward. And then press your hips towards the sky for our first downward facing dog. So in your first downward dog, you can pedal through the feet side to side. You can bend both knees at a time and then lengthen your legs. You can even shift forward into a high plank and then back into your downward dog, just to open those shoulders and those hammies. Relax your head and neck, maybe even shake it out, yes and no. And I'm really just encouraging you to find any kind of movement here that allows your body to expand, that allows you to open up into this pose. So whatever that is for you, find another 2 to 3 breaths here, opening up, finding some fluidity. Stay connected with your breath. Nice job. Let's keep our eyes closed. Take a big inhale in through the nose. Let's exhale it out the mouth. Nice job. Big breath in. Look to the top of your mat. Bend your knees. Exhale. Forward fold all the way up the top of your mat. Bend your knees a lot here. Grab a hold of opposite elbows, ragdoll arms. Just relax your head and neck in that nice window that you've created with the arms. Maybe even a soft sway side to side. So feel that side waist open up a little bit. You should even feel a nice length through the cervical vertebrae, all the way down to the tailbone. Keep your knees bent so that you can really open up through the low back. Nice job. One more breath here. Good. Let's release those hands down to the earth. Inhale, lengthen, halfway up, lift. Fingertips just graze your shins. So you want a really flat spine here. Shoulders roll back. Gaze down towards the earth. So you're even lengthening out through the crown of the head. Exhale, let's forward fold. Relax your head and neck down. With long legs, inhale, rise all the way up to standing. Reach your arms up and overhead. Come into mountain pose. Look up towards the sky. Reach up high. And as you exhale, bend your elbows, baby back bend. Lift through your heart. Squeeze your shoulder blades towards one another. Inhale, reach your arms up to the sky. Look up. Exhale, soften your knees. Swan dive forward, forward fold. Relax your head and neck down at the bottom. Inhale, lengthen just halfway. Fingertips graze your shins. Exhale, plant your palms down on the earth. Step your feet back into a high plank pose. Take a big breath in here. Engage through your core. Hips are in line with the shoulders. Pause here. Feel length out through the crown of your head. You really want to engage the core as you press down and towards your hands. Feel those arms like pillars lifting up through the shoulder blades. Big breath in. Now as you exhale, let's lower our knees down to the earth. Walk your hands forward, puppy dog pose. Look out in front of you, let those shoulders roll back. Look between your thumbs. Big breath in. And big breath out. Next inhale, let's shift onto the forearms, slide your knees back, pull your heart through, Sphinx pose, lift through the chest, shoulders back. And then exhale, lower, hands tent to the outside of your mat, roll your shoulders back one at a time. Good, side to side. And let's come back through center, hands under the shoulders. Inhale, lift your heart, Cobra Pose. Deeply bend those elbows, point them straight back. Tuck your toes, press your hips back towards your heels, and then lift your hips to the sky, downward facing dog. Full breath in through the nose and out through the nose. Bend your knees, gaze forward, step or even hop to the top of your mat, coming into your forward fold. Inhale, lengthen halfway up, lift flat spine. Exhale, forward fold, soften the knees, tuck your chin. Inhale, mountain pose, rise all the way up to standing. Reach your arms up and overhead. And then exhale, bend your elbows, drop your head back, lift through your heart, squeeze your shoulder blades together. Inhale, reach your arms up towards the sky. Exhale, soften your knees, swan dive forward, forward fold. Inhale, lengthen halfway up, lift. Exhale, plant your palms, step your feet back, high plank pose. One breath here, engage your core. And your exhale breath, knees lower, walk your hands forward. Puppy dog pose. Shoulders back, gaze forward out in front of you. Inhale onto your forearms, slide your knees back, pull your heart through, create that nice traction through your forearms. Exhale, lower your chest down, tent your hands to the outside of your mat and begin to roll one shoulder back at a time while also bending one knee at a time. Look back towards your toes, side to side, and feel a nice stretch all the way through the front line of your body. Nice, good, fluid motions. Now let's come back through center. Hands right under those shoulders. Inhale. You can come up a little bit higher for this cobra, but your elbows are still bent. Press your heart forward. Tuck your toes behind you. Press your hips back towards your heels. Hips to the sky, downward facing dog. Full breath in. And full breath out. Bend your knees, look to the top of your mat. Step or lightly hop. Forward fold. Inhale, lengthen halfway up, lift, flat spine. Exhale, forward fold. Feet together, bend your knees deep. Inhale, reach your arms up to the sky. Chair pose, Utkatasana. Shoulders relax down your back, sit low. Feel your weight pull back in towards your heels as you squeeze through your inner thighs. Deep breath in. And as you exhale, take those hands down to the earth, forward fold. Inhale, lengthen halfway up, flat spine. Exhale, plant your palms, step your feet back, high plank pose. Take a breath in. And as you exhale, knees to the mat, walk your hands forward, melt your heart down to the earth, gaze out in front of you. Inhale, shift onto your forearms, slide your knees back, pull your heart through, Sphinx pose. Exhale, lower your heart, hands under the shoulders or slightly outside. Roll those shoulders back, one at a time. And begin to bend one knee, look back. And bend the opposite knee, look back. Lower back down to the earth. Now listen, let's take our left forearm to the top of the mat. So your left forearm is parallel with the top of your mat as you bend your right knee. Reach back with your right hand to find the inside of your right foot as you gently take your right heel close towards your right glute. Right shoulder rolls forward, so you even feel this through that right shoulder. Feel a nice deep stretch through that right quadricep. Deep breath in. And as you exhale, release your right foot, gently switch sides. So right forearm parallel with the top, bend your left leg. Reach back with your left hand to find that left foot as you pull the left ankle towards your left hip. Keep your knee in line with your hip straight back. Beautiful work. Next exhale, release that left foot back behind you. Hands under your shoulders. Inhale, lift your heart, shoulders back, Cobra Pose. Exhale, tuck your toes, hips to your heels, and then lift your hips to the sky. Downward facing dog. Now let's inhale, reach your right leg high. Bend your right knee, let your hips stack open. Just feel that nice stretch through the front of that right quad. Press that right knee towards the sky, square through your shoulders. Take another inhale, breath in. Now as you exhale, hug your right knee towards your chest. Place your right foot to the top of your mat. Lower your back knee down. Ground through that right foot. Inhale, rise up into a low lunge. Roll the shoulders down your back, lift through your heart, square your hips forward. Slight tuck of that tailbone, so you should feel a nice stretch through that left psoas. Ground into that right foot. Now listen closely. Tuck your back toes. Ground into your right foot. Engage through your right quadricep and begin to lift your back knee up off the mat, coming into Crescent Pose, high lunge. So really open up through that back knee, bend deep into your front, square those hips forward, big breath in. Now as you exhale, hinge forward, hover over that right thigh, reach your arms back behind you, airplane arms. Roll your shoulders back, squeeze through those shoulder blades, engage even into your hands. Look down at your right foot, inhale, shift your weight into that right leg. Lift your back leg up off the mat, warrior three. So if this is too much with the arms behind, you can always take your hands to heart center or even on blocks down on the earth. Soften through that right knee, reach that left leg back, flex your left foot, engage, big breath in. Now as you exhale, take your hands down to the earth, lift that left leg just a little bit more, relax your head and neck. Exhale, send your left foot all the way to the back of the mat. Right leg all the way up to the sky through three-legged dog, reach it high. And lower your right foot down to meet the left. Nice work, inhale in. And exhale out. Inhale your left leg to the sky. Bend your left knee, stack your hips open, reach that left knee as you square your shoulders off. Pull your lower belly in. Take another inhale breath here. As you exhale, hug your left knee towards your chest. Place your left foot to the top of your mat. Lower your right knee down. Inhale, reach your arms up to the sky in your low crescent. So square those shoulders forward, square your hips forward. Take some time here to really feel that nice length through the front of your right hip. There's a slight tuck of the tailbone, so that really emphasizes that stretch. Now listen closely. Remember from that other side, tuck your right toes. Ground into your left foot. Inhale, press down to rise up, crescent pose. Square your hips forward. Engage through the low belly. Bend deep into your front knee. Deep inhale, breath in. As you exhale, hinge forward, reach your arms back behind you, squeeze through your shoulder blades, hover over that right thigh. Gaze down out in front of your left big toe. And now as you inhale, you're gonna shift that weight into your left foot. Begin to pick your right leg up off your mat, float into warrior three. So it's okay if your hands are at the heart center, maybe they're on blocks down on the earth. Wherever you are, you're engaging into that standing leg as you press back through that right heel. Flex your right foot so the toes point straight down to the mat. Big breath in. Exhale, hands to the earth. Just lift that right leg slightly, relax your head and neck. Exhale, send that right foot all the way back. Left leg to the sky, three-legged dog. Reach that left leg high. And lower the left foot down to meet the right. Downward dog. Full breath in. And full exhale breath out. Bend your knees, look to the top of your mat. Step or even lightly float all the way up. Inhale, lengthen halfway up, lift flat spine. Exhale, forward fold. Feet together, bend your knees deeply. Inhale, chair pose. Reach those arms to the sky. Exhale, swoop your hands behind your back, interlace your fingers. Roll your shoulders down and away, lift through your heart, big breath in. Now as you exhale, let's forward fold. Keep those hands interlaced, relax your head and neck. Keep your knees softly bent or even deeply bent in this pose. The more open you are in the hamstrings and the low back, you can lengthen your legs and take your forehead towards your shins. Deep breath in. Try to keep your palms close together. That really protects through the wrists and opens even deeper in the shoulders. If you can't interlace the hands, that's fine. Grab a towel, grab a shirt, grab opposite elbows. Find your variation. One more breath here. And then exhale, let's release those hands down to the mat. Inhale, lengthen halfway up, lift flat spine. Exhale, plant your palms, step your feet back, high plank pose. Take a big breath in. This time as you exhale, lower chaturanga, elbows point back, lower halfway, elbows in line with those shoulders. And then scoop through, inhale, upward facing dog, roll to the tops of your feet, lengthen through the arms. Exhale, downward facing dog, hips to the sky. Big breath in. And exhale out. Inhale, right leg rises up, bend your right knee, stack your hips open. Exhale, hug your right knee towards your chest. This time, straight into crescent pose. Ground through that right foot. Inhale, arms rise all the way up to the sky. Now as you exhale, hinge forward, reach those arms back, airplane wings. Inhale, shift onto your right foot. Lift your back foot up off the mat. Warrior three, airplane pose. Keep those hips squared up. Exhale, hands to the earth. Inhale, left leg rises up a little bit higher. Exhale, send your left foot all the way to the back of the mat. Right leg all the way up to the sky through three-legged dog. Reach it high. And exhale, downward facing dog. Big breath, left leg rises high. Bend your left knee, stack your hips open. Exhale, hug your left knee to the chest. Place your left foot to the top of your mat. Inhale, rise, crescent pose. Exhale, hinge forward, hover, reach your arms back behind you, roll your shoulders back. Inhale, reach forward, ground in towards those left toes, and then reach your right leg up, airplane pose. Press your heart forward, square through the hips. Exhale, breath to take your hands down to the earth. Inhale to reach that right leg a little bit higher. Keep your hips square. Exhale, send your right foot all the way to the back of the mat. Left leg to the sky through three-legged dog. Reach it up high. And then exhale, lower left foot down to meet the right. Downward facing dog. Full breath in. And full breath out. Now as you inhale, let's shift forward into high plank pose. Take a big breath in. As you exhale, we're going to lower all the way down to our mat. Lower onto your belly, untuck your toes. Take your right arm out to the right. Actually, let's goal post it today. I won't bother you, Bradley. So goal post your right arm. Take your left hand right underneath your shoulder. Shift over so that you lean in towards that right shoulder. So you might just softly lean in, and this is as far as you go. You should feel it pretty deep in the pectoral muscle and the shoulder. If you do want to go a little bit further, you can begin to roll towards that right hip. So you're kind of laying on your right side while pressing your right shoulder down. This is a pretty intense stretch through the front of your right shoulder. Deep breath in here. Good, deep breath out. Let's come onto our belly and switch sides. So your right hand will come under your shoulder, right by your rib cage, kind of like a cobra arm. Take your left arm out in a 90-degree bend by your side. Press in towards that right hand as you slowly roll towards your left shoulder. So you might just lean gently like so. If you know you want more and you don't really feel this that much, you can roll onto your left hip, kind of coming onto your side. So it really just puts a little bit more weight into that left shoulder. You should feel it through the pectoral muscle, through the front of the heart. It's a pretty simple stretch, but it gets right in there. Okay, let's come back onto the belly. Tense your hands to the outside of your mat, and let's just circle it out. Side to side. Work into the head and neck. If you like to come up high, come up high. You can stay low, twist side to side. Good. Let's come back through center. Take your hands behind your back. Interlace your fingers. Bend your knees, flex your feet. Keep your knees, hips width distance. As you inhale, just reach back as if you're trying to reach between your calves. Lift through your heart, peel your heart open. Gaze just slightly out in front of your mat. Big breath in, reach back through that fist. One more inhale. Next exhale, let's release down to the mat. Take both palms face down, crocodile pose, forehead to the backs of your hands, and just sway the hips side to side. Kind of release through the spine here. So we're going to come into that pose one more time. If you would like to come into floor bow, that is your next option if you know you have floor bow. So if that pose was already plenty for you, go ahead and bend your knees and take your hands to interlace behind your back. If you want to come into a floor bow, hands come to the insides of your ankles, peel your shoulders back, squeeze through your shoulder blades. Begin to kick into your hands as you lift through your heart, really opening through the chest. And in your floor bow, your thighs lift up off the earth. That's the main difference here in this posture, besides reaching further back. Both of them are opening through the heart and through the front line of your body. Take a big breath in, kick in, and lift through your heart. Look just slightly in front of your mat. And then slowly release everything down, crocodile pose. Palms face down, forehead to the backs of the hands, and just shimmy those hips side to side. Let it go through the low back. Nice. Now let's take our hands under our shoulders. Come up into a tabletop position. Gaze down between your thumbs. Inhale, reach your right arm up to the sky. Roll your right shoulder back. Ooh, exhale. Let's thread that right arm underneath. Lower your right shoulder down. Bend your left elbow. Thread the needle. Relax your head down. Press your hips back evenly. This is getting a nice opposing stretch through the shoulder blades, and it's gently twisting the spine, decompressing. Good. Let's inhale. Reach that right arm back up to the sky. Roll your right shoulder back. Look up. And exhale, tabletop position. Switch sides. Inhale, left arm to the sky. Roll your left shoulder back. Look up. Exhale, thread the needle. Take that left arm all the way underneath. Left shoulder to the earth. Hips evenly press back. Bend your right elbow. Good. Just feel that nice decompression through the spine. Ground into that right hand. Hips evenly press back. Go ahead, now let's inhale that left arm back up to the sky. Roll the left shoulder back, look up. Exhale, tabletop position. Ground through those hands, spread your fingers wide, take a breath in. Exhale, tuck your toes, hips to heels, and then lift your hips all the way up to the sky. Downward facing dog. Inhale, right leg rises up. Bend your right knee, stack your hips open. Exhale, hug your right knee towards your chest. Place your right foot to the top of your mat. Ground through your back heel. Windmill open to warrior two. Good, so this is our first warrior two. Make sure your right foot is straight in front of your left foot. So you want to be on a straight line, a tightrope, rather than those railroad tracks. So bend deep into your front knee. Let your right knee open out as you extend your arms out in opposite directions. Find that equanimity in this pose so you're reaching out and lengthening just as much as you're strengthening and getting low. Turn your right palm to the sky. Inhale, reach up and back. Reverse your warrior. Lengthen through your right side waist. Look up towards the sky. Exhale, come back. Warrior two. Lengthen your right leg. Press your hips back. Reach your right arm forward. Take your right hand to your shin or the earth, left arm to the sky. Stack your shoulders. Look up, create length through your spine. So your hand can be on the earth, on your shin, or even on your right quad. As long as your spine is long and your hips and shoulders are stacking. Now let's all come into a variation with our top arm. Just slowly spin your back of your hand towards your body as you tuck your left arm behind you. And maybe it comes to come around the front of that right hip. So you're really opening through the shoulder here. You should feel a deeper stretch through the inner right thigh. Big breath in. And big breath out. Lengthen through your heart, through the crown of your head. Inhale, left arm back up to the sky. Gaze down to your right toes. Inhale, rise up, straight-legged warrior two. Hands to your hips. Bend your right knee. Spin onto your back toes. Take your hands down to the earth. Lower your back knee down. And shift your hips back. Flex your right foot. So just come into your half splits here. So your hands might be on blocks on either side of you, or tented on the earth, or even on your hips. Take an inhale breath to lengthen your heart as you flex your right foot, square off through your hips. As you exhale, maybe you forward fold towards that right leg to your degree. So today's practice might be different than last week's practice. Maybe you bent further into this pose last week and not this week. That's totally normal. Every day is different. Take another breath in. And exhale out. Nice job. Let's inhale, shift forward onto the right foot. Tuck your back toes. And we're going to shift forward so that we're grounding into that right foot. Shift, ground into your right foot, and then extend your left leg all the way up to the sky into standing splits. Keep your hips square. Hands can walk close towards that right leg. Relax your head and neck. Good. You can even grab a hold of your right shin with your right hand or left hand. Find some balance. One more breath here. Nice job. Listen closely. Bend your right knee. Slowly take your left knee all the way up towards your chest. Come up to standing. Hug your left knee towards your chest. Squeeze it in deep, shoulders back. And let's release that left foot down. Take your hands to your hips. Circle it out. Side to side. So we're going to move into dancer's pose. We've been opening the hips, quads, and hammies to get into this pose today. So let's start with our left foot down. So our left foot will be the standing leg. Take your hands to your hips. Begin to lift your right knee towards your chest. And then take your right knee back so it's in line with your left. Right hand grabs a hold of the inside of your right foot. Take your left hand to the sky, reach it up. Roll your shoulders back. You want to look forward so your hips are in line and square towards the front of your room. Take a big breath in. You might stay right here. Or maybe as you exhale, you begin to hinge forward and kick into your right hand. It really helps to find a steady gaze out in front of you. So find a point out in front of you that's not moving as you shift forward and kick into your right hand. It's a balance of kicking into that right hand, but also finding that peace and that opening through the heart and through that right quadricep. Keep your hips square. One more breath. Keep that gaze steady. Beautiful work. Let's slowly take that right knee all the way back to meet your left arm to the sky. Release your right foot down, release your left arm down. And let's just shake it out. So maybe kind of twist side to side, roll your shoulders out, just shake it out. Even through the feet, you can roll your ankles. Nice job. Good, let's inhale, reach our arms up to the sky, look up. Now as you exhale, swan dive forward all the way down to your toes. Inhale, lengthen halfway up, lift. Exhale, plant your palms, step your feet back, high plank pose. Big breath in, and let's exhale, chaturanga, lower down halfway. Inhale, lift your heart, upward dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Let's move on to that left side. Inhale, left leg to the sky, bend your left knee, stack your hips open. Exhale, hug your left knee towards your chest. Place your left foot to the top of your mat, spin that back heel down. Inhale, windmill open, warrior two. So you really want to bend deep into that front knee. Left heel is in line with the arch of your back foot. Get low as you extend those arms out. Let that left knee open out. Find that equanimity. Let your exhale sink you in low. Gazes out past that left middle finger. Turn your left palm to the sky. Inhale, reach up and back. Reverse your warrior. Lengthen through that left side. Exhale, let's come back through warrior two. Lengthen your left leg. Reach your left arm forward, create length. Then begin to tick-tock your arms, left hand to your shin, right arm to the sky, triangle pose. Roll that right shoulder back. You really want your hips and shoulders to stay squared off here. So it's okay if that left hand is on your quad, on the earth, or on that shin. You really want to keep your spine long wherever you are. Now let's take that nice shoulder opener. Right arm comes behind your back, around the front of your left hip. So you're wrapping that right forearm behind your back. So you roll your right shoulder back. And then begin to look out past that right shoulder, if that's okay, on your head and neck. Find a nice expansion through your heart. Feel your inner hip and your hamstrings and low back open up. Deep breath. Good. Reach that right arm back up to the sky. Ground into your left foot. Inhale, rise up. Straight-legged warrior two. Rebend your left knee. Inhale. Exhale, windmill hands down as you spin your right toes forward. Lower your right knee. We're making our way into our half splits. Ardha Hanumanasana. Flex your left foot, lengthen that left leg. Take a big breath in, lengthen your heart forward. And to your degree, listen to your body. Maybe you melt in further, maybe you back off. Wherever you are, you flex that left foot a lot so the toes come towards your torso. Hips are square. You should feel this deep in the belly of that left hamstring. Steady breath in. And steady breath out. Last full breath. Now as you inhale, shift forward into a low lunge, ground into your left foot, tuck your right toes. Remember last time we shifted forward into our left foot. Begin to ground down as you lift your right leg up off the mat, coming into your version of standing splits. Relax your head and neck. Feel that big opening through your left hamstring. Maybe you walk your hands closer towards that left leg, taking one or both around the ankle for balance. Relax your head and neck, forehead towards your shin. Feel that deep opening in the hamstrings and release through the spine. One more breath in. Now listen closely as you exhale. Begin to bend your right knee. Take your right knee towards your chest. Try not to touch the earth as you come all the way up to standing. Hug your right knee towards your chest. Shoulders back, squeeze it in. Good work, guys, and lower your right foot down. That's a lot of core work and balance there. So just circle your hips side to side, let it go. Now we're gonna move into dancer's pose on the opposite side. So the right foot will stay down on the earth this time. You really wanna engage that right leg. Take your right hand to your hip, right hip, and then begin to bend your left knee as you reach back with your left hand to find the inside of your left ankle. So left hand to left ankle. Take your knees in line with one another as you square your hips and shoulders forward. Ground into your right foot as you inhale your right arm to the sky. This is okay right here. You can stay here and get this nice quad stretch. If you want more, begin to hinge forward. Reach out in front of you. Begin to kick gently into that left hand. Ground into your right foot. So the trick in dancer's pose, find your steady gaze. Kick a little bit and lift. And then relax into the pose. Find that balance. So it's that balance of creating the stretch by kicking, but then also letting yourself fall into the pose. Melt in, square those hips forward, heart forward, expand through the heart. Steady gaze. Stay with it for one more breath. Nice job, and take your time. Slowly take that left knee back to meet your right. Release your left foot down. And again, let's shake it out. So if it feels good to twist side to side and just let those arms feel limp. Shoulders shrug side to side, let it go. Maybe you roll your ankles out through the toes. Nice job. Inhale, reach your arms to the sky, look up. Exhale, let's just swan dive forward all the way down to the toes. Inhale, lengthen halfway up, lift. Now as you exhale, tuck and curl. Come onto your heels, up onto the balls of your feet, forehead towards your knees. Curl in. Feel your spine lengthen through the back of the neck. Deep breath in here. And deep breath out. Now as you exhale, let's take our hands down behind us. Lower your hips down towards the earth. Soles of the feet together, knees apart, and let's come into butterfly pose. So take your hands around your feet. Roll your shoulders down and away. Take an inhale, breath, lift through your heart. Now as you exhale, take your elbows to bow out towards the sides as you press your calves away. Heart leans towards your toes. Melting in, feel that inner hip open up. Deep breath. And deep breath out. You can keep your hands on your feet if you feel that you have a lot more room in this pose. You can walk your arms forward. I'm actually pretty tight in this pose myself, but a lot of people are able to walk their hands forward and just melt their heart to the toes. So if that's you, come to the depth of your pose here. Good. Now let's inhale, rise back up. Close your knees together. Soles of the feet to the earth. Reach your arms out long in front of you and begin to take your time as you journey down towards the mat. Heels come up close towards your hips. Relax head and neck down on the earth. Shimmy your shoulders up underneath your back. Inhale, extend your right leg to the sky. Take your right ankle to the top of your left thigh. Press your right knee away. Hands come to interlace around the left hamstring. Shoulders melt to the earth. Pull that left leg close towards your chest for thread the needle or reclined pigeon. This should feel good on that outer hip. Flex your right foot. This is a great pose if you're a runner, if you do Olympic lifting, or if you're sitting at your desk all day. The piriformis tends to tighten up quite easily in most of our activities, so it's great to stretch that one out. One more breath. And gently release that left foot down to the earth. Inhale, right leg to the sky. Lower your right foot down. Left leg, reach it up, extend. And take your left ankle to the top of your right thigh. Flex your left foot. Let that left knee press away. And remember, you can always stay right here. If you want more, the hands will interlace around that right hamstring as you pull the right leg close towards your body. Keep your shoulders relaxed, head and neck relaxed. And gently release that right leg, left leg to the sky. Is the FedEx man here, Brad? Good. And then begin to hug your knees towards your chest. Give them a squeeze. And extend your left leg straight out in front of you. Hug your right knee in. As you hug your right knee in, you should feel a nice massage through the low belly. Begin to take your right knee over to the left. Right arm out to the right. Twist your spine. Feel the low back decompress. Keep your shoulders down on the earth. So when the shoulders are grounded down on the earth, you're letting the heart expand here. And your breath travels deep into your low belly to let the low back expand. Let's stay here for another full round of breath. Nice job. Let's come back through center. Hug your knees deep in towards your chest, and we'll switch sides. Extend your right leg long out in front of you. Hug your left knee in. So squeeze your left knee towards your chest. And then begin to take your left knee over to the right. Left arm out to the left, straight out by your side. Keep your shoulders relaxed on the earth. Gaze to the left, so you should feel that twist deep in your low back and low belly. And as those shoulders stay on the earth, you should feel a nice expansion through the chest. Deep breath here. Inhale, come back through center. Squeeze your knees deep in towards your chest. And we're gonna come into happy baby pose. So flex your feet, bend your knees around your rib cage. Take your hands to the outer blades of your feet, shoulders relaxed down onto the earth. Pull those knees on either side of your rib cage so you feel a big expansion through the low back, maybe even rock side to side. Massage the spine. Stay with your breath here. One more big inhale in through the nose and out through the nose. Release those feet. Extend your legs straight up to the sky. Reach your arms up to the sky. So you can stay here in a simple inversion if you traditionally practice shoulder stance or any other inversion. Take this time to practice your inversion. We're just going to stay in a simple inversion for the purpose of an all-level class. Just let the legs stay lifted up towards the sky. Arms are limply lifted up, so the shoulders are still relaxed, even though your arms are extended. Feel the blood flow release from the feet. You can roll your ankles out, roll your wrists out if that feels good. You can even shake the legs out side to side. But once you kind of roll those ankles out and shake the legs out, come into stillness, close the eyes, feel your entire spine melt in towards the earth as the legs lift up. Feel gravity release from the feet, any excess fluids, any lactic acid buildup that may have happened from a workout or stiffness. 2 more breaths here. So whatever inversion you're in, use these last 2 breaths to make your way out. And we'll all meet knees to chest. Hug your knees in. Forehead comes up towards your knees. Take a big squeeze. Inhale, breath in. Good, and exhale, let it go. Toes drop out by your sides, palms face up. Close your eyes. Come into your final resting pose, Shavasana. You can stay here as long as you would like. I will lead you out when it is time. Now you can stay here as long as you like or you need. If you would like to begin to move about with your day, find a gentle wiggle of the fingers and the toes. Move off to one side or the other, coming into a fetal position. And then take your time, begin to crawl yourself up into an easy seat, just as we began class. Once you meet me in an easy seat, take your hands to heart center. Bow your chin, close your eyes. Take a moment here to reflect on how you feel in this moment. Take time here to also express gratitude. Honor the light that dwells within each and every one of us. Thank you so much for practicing with me. Namaste. I hope you enjoyed class, and if so, hit that subscribe button and you'll see me next time on my next live. And you can also find a lot more information on my Instagram at Katie Marie Yoga. You can also send a comment here or even a DM there. I'm also on Facebook as well, Katie Marie Yoga and Holistic Nutrition. And I hope to see you guys next time. Thank you so much for joining me. Aloha.